Hello and welcome to Season 2 of the Sify InfinitLoop podcast. I am Trisha, your host, and I'm delighted to have you join us for another insightful discussion on the trends shaping the future of enterprise technology. Today, we are discussing a topic that's top of mind for technology leaders everywhere: scaling AI in the enterprise, why cloud, sovereignty, and managed services must come together. Over the last few years, AI has moved from experimentation to production. Organizations are no longer asking whether they should adopt AI. They are asking how to deploy it effectively, securely, and at scale. Questions around where AI should run, how to control costs, how to secure data, and who will manage increasingly complex AI environments are becoming critical business priorities. As enterprises navigate these challenges, the convergence of AI infrastructure, cloud platforms, and managed services is emerging as a key enabler of successful AI adoption. To explore this further, I'm pleased to welcome Pushpendra Kumar, who heads AI, Cloud and IT Managed Services within Sify. Welcome, Pushpendra.
Thank you, Trisha.
How are you doing today?
All good, ma'am.
Are you excited for Season 2? We start with you. Actually, I'm too excited for this.
Absolutely. I'm pretty excited. Topic is really interesting. We are going to cover AI and, whatever is happening around AI. So it is very interesting and I'm really excited about it.
Sure. Let's start. First question, we've seen many technology shifts over the years from cloud to digital transformation. I wanted to understand from your perspective, why do you think AI is different from the technologies that we've seen so far?
See, AI is fundamentally, different, right? Previous technologies transformation which has happened earlier, right? It was more of the process optimization. But here, it is not only the optimization, automation, but it also, learn, reason, and help in decision making. So that's one side of it. The other point is that AI is a combination of a lot of things, right? It's a complete stack, starting with network, data center, and cloud infrastructure, GPU infrastructure, orchestration layer, application, use cases, a lot of things. So and it's a very big transformation which is happening these days.
So we often hear that AI needs more than software or applications. It needs, data, security, governance, ongoing management, etc., etc. In your views, do you think the organizations are actually realizing how much work is there? In scaling AI?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll take you, approximately a year back when we started working with customers on, AI requirements. Most of the customers, they started, their AI journey with a use case or a model. And then they quickly realize that it's not a standalone software, right? It's a complete ecosystem. This ecosystem has multiple layers. It starts with network layer, which is probably the most important component of the complete ecosystem. So when we start working on any AI workload, we need to ingest data from different sources, bring it to a place, and then run analytics around it, for which we need a very robust, low latency network connectivity. Right, so then we can pull the data, quickly at one place. So that's important layer. Second is data center. Data center is not a generic building wherein we, put the racks and stack it and create environments. No, it is also a futuristic solution, which is required. Air cooled systems, liquid cooled system is something that people are talking about today, and which is the need of the hour. So data center is another important layer. On top of it, infrastructure, right? For so many years, infra was essential. It was the foundation that people used to call it, but it was invisible at the same time. Now it is very important, right? Which includes GPUs, which includes compute, and other things around this. So that's another layer that is very important that customer need to understand, and they're understanding it as well. Now on top of it, we need security layer, right? Because AI is something that we need to secure for sure. And that is how, sovereignty and other things are coming in the picture. On top of security, we need an orchestration, which can, customer can keep on monitoring the complete ecosystem, manage it pretty well. And then it requires a platform, wherein you can quickly spin services, you can provide a lot of automation. It gives you a lot of insights so that you can, take right decisions. So that's another layer that we can, talk about. And the another layer is wherein the ISVs or the application providers create use cases, put it in the same ecosystem, and that's how it creates an end-to-end solution for the customer, and customer realizes it. We also experience that customers recognize that scaling AI needs three important things, right? One is obviously the cost optimization. The second is the life cycle management, and continuous monitoring is something that customer needs. So these are the three important pillars of all running the AI workload or AI ecosystem in the market or in the industry. So these are important things. So today the discussions or the conversations are not around how do I build AI model. It is around how I can scale AI with security and governance. So this is how customers are working today around AI.
Okay, so Pushpendra, I also want to briefly touch upon the concern part. So when you speak to customers, what are the kind of concerns were they bringing up towards AI adoption, say 6 to 8 months back and currently?
Okay, so as you said, there are two phases, right? When we started, working with customers around AI, the concerns were different. Today, these are the different concerns that we are addressing, right? So earlier, when customer was trying, they were trying to adopt AI. So there are two kind of requirements that we get. The one is requirement comes from the IT team, right? The second is requirement comes from the business team. IT team, they were talking about 3-4 areas wherein they would want improvement, right? The first was automation. They wanted to understand when they will infuse AI in the complete ecosystem that they are running, how we can automate it, right? The second was optimization. Can we optimize it as well so that we can control the cost and the technology at the same time? So that was another area. Third, they were concerned about the SLAs and the uptime. They wanted their infrastructure or the platform that they are using, they can increase the uptime and they can improve the SLAs. So that was another concern that they were talking about. And the important, concern was the security, right? Security is one thing that we need to keep on investing on, and we can keep on improving the security around the infrastructure and the platform layer. These were the concern or the requirement from the IT side. The other side, which is business, they always come up with three major concerns. One was, since it requires a lot of investment into it, they were always concerned how they are going to get the ROI justified, right? So that was one concern. Second, they also wanted to create a new revenue stream. When they are investing in AI, they wanted to create a new revenue stream, which eventually helps justifying the ROI. Third was getting the experience of the end customer enhanced, right? So that was another concern. So when they are ready to invest into AI, they always wanted the end customer, whom they are, servicing, should get a better experience. So these were the three concerns that, business side was talking about. So this is 6 to 8 months back when they were trying to adopt the AI. When today we have a conversation, so we have established, all these things, perfectly, and we move ahead. Now, customers would want to understand what is going to be the roadmap down the line 3 to 5 years is something that they talk about, right? They would want to create a complete process flow, steps and stages, so that they can continuously innovate, they can continuously invest into AI and get a better outcome, right? So these are the concerns that customers talk about, and we provide solution around it. So Sify always ensure that we provide futuristic solution. So it's not that we are trying to solve the problem what they are facing today, but at the same time the solution should also cover whatever the requirement which might come in the near future, and that's how we are addressing all this.
So whatever I've read about cost so far, and I could gauge out of your answer too, I think cost seems to be one of the biggest discussion points, So any thoughts over there, how are organizations actually managing it, and at the same time trying to ensure that the AI innovation part is also there?
You're right. So this cost has become the boardroom discussion today, especially when customers use AI workload which involve GPUs and LLMs. It scale rapidly, right? When scale rapidly, when you don't manage it properly. So it is very important today. So to control the cost, and customers understand it pretty well, right? So what they are focusing on today, they are focusing on how they are consuming the AI infrastructure. They keep on optimizing it, and at the same time, they create a future roadmap so that they can control it pretty well. And that is how, in today's conversation with most of the customers, their requirement is of, FinOps. They keep on talking about FinOps. So they understand the problem statement, they are managing it pretty well as well. At the same time, they ensure that down the line, 3 year, 5 year, their, consumption is going to increase. So they want a solution which can provide them, the complete control on the cost. And that's how, when they discuss these problem statement with us, partners like us, what we provide is, we provide FinOps in the overall ecosystem that I was talking about, wherein we provide the complete stack, starting from infrastructure to the use cases, that we provide. we infuse the AI ops into it. This AI ops keeps on giving the recommendation and suggestion how customers can control the cost, how they can optimize the overall compute. Even when we start working on any such requirement with the customers, we ensure when our solution architects or the enterprise architects sit with their infrastructure and application team, they understand their complete requirement in one go. When they reach out to us, for solutions for all these, cost optimization and all, we start working with them at the initial stage, wherein our solution architects and enterprise architects understand their application layer, they understand the infrastructure requirement, and hence they, create a solution which includes all these layers that I was talking about earlier, and provide them a solution along with AI ops, which keep on giving them the recommendation, suggestion, how they can optimize it, what changes that are required so that they can control the cost. At the same time, we ensure that the investment that they are doing around AI is completely aligned with their business goals or the business requirement which they have. And that is how we are providing the solutions to the, our customers. So important is not how they can, minimize the AI spend, right? The important is how they can maximize the outcome, for which they have already invested dollars into it. So these are the lines wherein we work with our customers and provide solution around it.
Okay, Pushpendra, now coming on to your favorite topic, that's data sovereignty and compliance, okay? How important are these as considerations for enterprises today?
See, the development of sovereignty, it started with the public sector, wherein the organizations like Ministry of Electronics and IT Communication, they come up with an idea that whatever government workload, has to be hosted in any of the cloud infrastructure or platform, has to be either government community cloud, which means all the organizations like us, need to create a separate cluster, that should be completely based on the guidelines from MITI, or it has to be the MITI empaneled cloud. It can be public cloud or it can be a private cloud. At the same time, when we talk about the enterprises today, the sectors like manufacturing, BFSI and healthcare, right? It is not a regulatory requirement, right? Rather, it has become, a key business consideration today. All these customers, all these sectors, when they talk to partners like us, they always ensure they choose a infrastructure or a platform partner who can provide them cluster or a platform, wherein their data, their AI models and their IP is secured, governed and managed properly. They want a complete transparency and trust. And they've stopped asking questions like, do you have a public cloud offering or a private cloud offering, or do you have scaling and all those things. Rather, they started asking, what is in it for me? The cluster that you have created, is this cluster or the offering that you have will solve my problems, industry specific issues that we face, and and that's how we have created separate clusters. Today, if we talk about the BFSI sector, we do have complete full-fledged, a separate cluster which we call it Sovereign FinCloud, which is completely based on the guidelines from RBI and SEBI. So sovereignty is very important. I said earlier that sovereignty doesn't mean that data is residing within India. It has to be, governed in India as well. So which means the law of land, which is going to be applicable, has to be, Indian laws which need to be, followed. So it is very important today for all the enterprises, and they are taking care of all these things. When they choose partners for their, AI, workload to be hosted, or any of the application that they would want to host.
One more question that comes to my mind is, would companies, rather prefer working with a few vendors or partners that can handle a lot of their AI, or the other way around? I mean, with more partners that can actually handle their AI business.
When it comes to AI, managing AI workload, customer would like to choose a strategic partner who can provide them the support on multiple layers, right? When you choose multiple partner who are managing, different bits and pieces, there are three major problems that they face. One is operational silos. The second is accountability gap. And third is it takes longer time for the deployment. So when you speak to the customer, they would want to prefer a strategic partner who can provide them support not only on the infrastructure layer, but at the same time on use cases, application, data platform, and managed services around it. Customers would prefer a large strategic partner to ensure they are working with them so that they can achieve their goal and the timelines and SLA put together in a proper manner.
So Pushpendra, as we wrap up, I just wanted to know what's that one piece of advice that you'd like to give to the CIOs and the CTOs, who are actually wanting to scale AI in their organization?
See, we are working with all these industry leaders from, last 2-3 years when they started adopting the AI, right? We have seen that transformation, right? They're doing really good. They are industry leaders. They have adopted AI at the early stage. There are few customers who started implementing AI, when even the buzz was not created in the market. If you'll ask me one suggestion, I would say that, a CIO or a leader should always focus on building a strong foundation, which is, requirement before scaling the AI. Success of AI, it isn't about choosing the right model. It's not only about choosing the right model, but at the same time, they should focus on right data strategy, governance framework, infrastructure, platform layer, security, and the managed services around it. And that's how we build the complete stack and provide, solution which can eventually, justify the ROI, the investment that they are doing into it. And then, what CIOs generally do is they, create a roadmap for next 5 years or 7 years. They can see that what kind of requirements might come tomorrow. So they should always focus on building that, strong foundation, so that tomorrow when a new requirement is coming or the new technology is coming, or they need to develop or build a new use case, for solving some of the futuristic solutions, this foundation should support at that point in time as well. We don't need to make changes in this foundation to address those problems, and we don't need to reinvest on the foundation or the infrastructure or the platform layer to solve those futuristic solutions. So this is what I believe that I can give as a suggestion to all the industry leaders.